Welcome to Copilot Podcasts. One line of code. That's all it takes to transform any website into a fully accessible audio experience. While most companies spend months retrofitting accessibility features, ResonaVoice.com promises to turn your content into what they call an audio experience with just one line of code. Today, we're exploring ResonaVoice as a human-centered listening companion for the web, specifically how its philosophy challenges traditional accessibility approaches, what makes its features genuinely different from basic text-to-speech, and why this matters for the 2.2 billion people worldwide living with vision impairment. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how AI-powered listening companions are reshaping digital accessibility and what this means for the future of inclusive web design. Let me bring in someone who's been diving deep into this space.
So ResonaVoice is fascinating because it's not just another text-to-speech tool. According to their website, they describe it as a navigational toolkit rather than just a button. The difference is huge.
Wait, what do you mean by navigational toolkit? How is that different from the screen readers people already use?
Great question. Traditional screen readers like JAWS, NVDA, and VoiceOver that the search results mention require users to have them installed and configured. ResonaVoice works directly in the browser and gives you precision control. You can stop the flow at any time to focus on a specific image, list, or header.
That's actually pretty clever. So it's more like having a guided tour of a web page rather than just reading everything sequentially?
Exactly. And they've built in this whole keyboard shortcut system. Alt plus V toggles the tool, H jumps to headings, I jumps to images, B for buttons. It's like they've created a new way to navigate web content entirely.
Interesting. But let's step back for a moment. Why does this matter? What's the current state of web accessibility that makes something like ResonaVoice necessary?
The numbers are staggering. According to the World Health Organization data I found, over 2.2 billion people globally live with vision impairment. In the US alone, 12 million adults over age 40 report some form of visual disability.
Wow, 2.2 billion globally. That's like 1 in 4 people.
Right, and here's the problem. The search results show that many websites still don't meet WCAG 2.2 accessibility standards. Users are excluded from essential actions like shopping, booking services, and accessing information. It's not just inconvenient, it's a barrier to independence.
So we're talking about digital exclusion on a massive scale. But what makes ResonaVoice's approach different from just telling website owners to follow accessibility guidelines?
This gets to the heart of human-centered design philosophy. According to Syracuse University's definition in the search results, human-centered design prioritizes deep empathy and understanding of people's needs before creating solutions.
Okay, but that sounds pretty abstract. How does that translate to something practical like ResonaVoice?
Well, instead of starting with technology or business goals, human-centered design begins by deeply understanding the humans who will use what you create. ResonaVoice seems to have asked, what do people actually need when they can't see a web page?
And their answer was this navigational toolkit approach rather than just making text louder?
Exactly. The search results mention that human-centered design looks at the whole person, their emotions, motivations, cultural context, rather than treating them as just a user clicking buttons on a screen.
That's a really different way of thinking about it. So instead of retrofitting accessibility, they're designing the experience from the ground up?
That's the key insight. TCS Research notes in their analysis that traditional accessibility practices often sit outside mainstream project workflows, making them reactive and time-consuming. ResonaVoice embeds accessibility at the point of creation.
But I'm curious about the technical side. How does this actually work for website owners? Is it really just one line of code?
According to their website, yes, you add a keyboard-accessible text-to-speech widget with just one line of code, but there's more to it. They also offer customization options like matching brand colors and adjusting narrator speed.
That brand color matching is interesting. It suggests they're thinking about this as part of the overall user experience, not just an accessibility add-on.
Exactly. And they have domain lock security to ensure your license only works on your URL. It's clearly designed for businesses who want to maintain their brand identity while adding accessibility.
But here's what I'm wondering. Does this actually solve the problem, or is it just a band-aid on poorly designed websites?
That's a fair question. ResonaVoice does include an accessibility checkup feature that reminds site owners to use semantic HTML with proper heading tags and alt text. So it's not just covering up bad design.
Ah, so it's more like training wheels that encourage better practices?
I think that's a good analogy. And this connects to something broader happening with AI-powered accessibility tools. UC Davis research shows that AI can act as a personalized assistant, tutor, or even advocate for users with diverse needs.
Wait, there's research on this? What did they find?
The UC Davis study found that neurodiverse individuals may benefit significantly more from chatbots and AI-driven applications than their neurotypical peers. People with dyslexia or hearing loss reported higher satisfaction at work and were more likely to recommend AI tools.
That's fascinating. So AI isn't just making things more efficient, it's actually creating better experiences for people who've been underserved by traditional technology?
Exactly. Joshua Hori, the accessibility coordinator at UC Davis, said the true power of AI lies in its adaptability. Unlike traditional accommodations, which are often static, AI can evolve alongside its user.
That adaptability piece is huge. Traditional accessibility features are often one size fits all, but people's needs are so individual.
Right, and this is where ResonaVoice gets interesting. They're not just providing text-to-speech, they're creating what could become a new standard for how people interact with web content.
How so? What makes you think this could become a standard?
Well, think about it. They've created a consistent set of keyboard shortcuts that work across any website that implements their tool. Alt plus V to toggle, H for headings, I for images. That's potentially a universal language for web navigation.
That's actually pretty brilliant. Instead of every website having its own accessibility approach, you'd have one consistent interface.
And the precision control aspect is key. Being able to stop the flow and focus on specific elements means users aren't just passive listeners, they're actively navigating and exploring content.
It's like the difference between being read to and being able to skim and scan content yourself.
Exactly. And this connects to something I noticed in the search results. There are actually multiple Resona products. There's a dating app that analyzes voice for compatibility and a voice training app for trans and non-binary people.
Wait, really? So this isn't just about web accessibility?
It seems like voice technology is being applied across different human needs. The dating app uses voice to understand personality and compatibility, while the voice training app provides real-time feedback for gender-affirming voice practice.
That's actually really interesting. It suggests there's this broader recognition that voice carries so much more information than just words.
Right, and ResonaVoice for web accessibility fits into that pattern. It's not just reading text, it's creating a richer, more nuanced interaction with digital content.
But let's get practical for a moment. If I'm running a website, why would I choose ResonaVoice over just following standard accessibility guidelines?
Well, the search results show that accessibility improves search engine optimization performance, user trust, and conversions. But beyond compliance, ResonaVoice offers immediate implementation and a better user experience.
And the one-line implementation is probably appealing to developers who are already overwhelmed with other priorities.
Exactly. TCS research points out that project management teams are often expected to interpret and apply accessibility standards without deep expertise. ResonaVoice removes that burden.
So it's solving both the user experience problem and the implementation problem at the same time.
Right, and this gets to the bigger picture. The search results mention that accessibility is a deeply human imperative, yet digital systems continue to exclude millions due to barriers that limit independence, dignity, and opportunity.
That's a powerful way to frame it. We're not just talking about compliance or even user experience, we're talking about human dignity.
Exactly. And tools like ResonaVoice represent a shift from treating accessibility as a regulatory requirement to recognizing it as a fundamental right that shapes how digital initiatives are conceived and delivered.
So when you step back from all the technical details, what we're really seeing is a new approach to inclusive design that puts human needs first.
That's exactly right. ResonaVoice isn't just adding audio to websites, it's demonstrating how AI-powered accessibility companions can reduce what researchers call accessibility debt by supporting both developers and users in real time.
And the real impact is on those 2.2 billion people worldwide who suddenly have a more intuitive way to navigate digital content.
Right. When you can jump directly to headings with H, or focus on images with I, or navigate tables with T, you're not just consuming content, you're exploring it on your own terms.
It's like the difference between being guided through a museum and being able to wander and discover things yourself.
That's a perfect analogy. And as more websites implement tools like this, we could see a fundamental shift in how people with visual impairments experience the web.
Here's what this really comes down to. ResonaVoice represents something bigger than just another accessibility tool. It's showing us what happens when you start with human needs rather than technical constraints.
Exactly. And the fact that it can be implemented with just one line of code means there's really no excuse for websites not to provide this level of accessibility.
Which brings us full circle to where we started. One line of code that could transform how billions of people experience the web. That's not just impressive technology, that's human-centered design in action.
And as AI continues to evolve, we're likely to see even more sophisticated listening companions that can adapt to individual needs and preferences in real time.
The future of web accessibility isn't just about compliance, it's about creating digital experiences that truly work for everyone. Thanks for joining us on Copilot Podcasts. Next time you visit a website, imagine navigating it with just your voice and keyboard shortcuts. That future might be closer than you think.